talked about how this new build I made, the BTA build, I think is the best 1v1 build. This does exactly what I want it to do. You don't get contact dunks. That's like the only shortcoming. But if you have enough cap breakers, you could, but you'd have to respec the build and make it a little different. But I didn't. I don't care for contact dunks. You can still dunk. Let's get straight into it. So to start off, the build is point guard. I make it left-handed just because all my builds are left-handed. I like playing on that side of the court. Height, I went with a 6'6" height with 195 weight. That's for the badges and stuff and the strength attributes that we get. And then I went with a 6'11" wingspan. And you'll see it's for blocks and stuff like that. I found out this is what, for me anyway, this is exactly the specs I need to get what I want to do. So first off, we got finishing. I went with a 65 close shot. This was the minimum I could go. I don't take a lot of close shots. It's either layups, dunks, or threes. And sometimes I take mid-ranges. I went with an 80 driving layup, 50 dunk. With that 50 dunk, you unlock the CJ McCollum dunk package, I think, and that's the one I run. That just gives you like athletic one-hander and two-handers off two, and then like the basic rim grazers and stuff. It's all you need really, just to...
This is just... Start digging in your butt, twin!
Went with a 26 standing dunk, 47 post control. I don't ever do post phase or anything. I'm thinking about making not a post scorer, but like a point guard build with like a 80 post control, just to see, kind of like a Kobe build, but at the point guard position. This finishing legit gets you the best bang for the buck attribute per animation and attribute per like value, I guess. I do a lot of layups, like a lot of Euro steps. So no contact dunks, but you still get a decent layup. I want to make a build with like a 99 layup just because of the animations and stuff. I love doing layups, Euro steps, spin layups, hop jumper or hop layups, all that stuff. Now, shooting. This is the weird part. If I were to remake this build, the one thing I would do was give it a higher mid-range. Mid-range is less expensive than your 3, but you can still get like all your shooting badges except for limitless range, I think. You can still get like red set shot specialist with 91. You might get Hall of Fame and then you can attribute boost it. I went with a 73 mid-range. I don't fade middies or anything like that. That's just not in my play style. Now for the 3-point, I went with an 83 3-ball. And you may be wondering why. It's because of a jump shot. I do shoot a lot of threes, and I find that it is just as easy if you're playing on the 3 line and you're not playing from limitless like 30 feet out. An 83 3-ball is perfectly fine. I still green just about as much shots. It's just like I can't shoot from well beyond the 3-point line. I can like maybe a foot or two back behind the 3, especially if I got takeover. Basically, you're playing on the 3 line and you're not doing any step back threes or fading threes or anything like that. You might be able to hit like a step back or a fading corner 3.
Corner 3!
Now for the free throw, I don't play a lot of rec. I don't play a lot of pro-am. I went with a 58 free throw, and that's just because that's the lowest that I can get it with the mid-range and 3-point attributes. Now, this is one of my favorite parts about this build. Like I said before, I literally only play theater 1v1s or proving ground 1v1s. I never play rec. I went with a 67 pass accuracy, as low as I can get it with the ball handle that I chose and speed with ball that I chose. I went with a 91 ball handle. If you're not a big dribbler, you don't need it. I think it gives me gold ankle assassin. I still get just as much ankle breakers. Not just as much, but almost as much ankle breakers. Like if you do the right moves, you're gonna get an ankle breaker every time. The animations in this game are crazy. I've made people fall on their face. Just look at this video. This dude literally, like all I did was a step back and he just like died. And then I greened the 3. Speed with ball went with 86. That's to get gold. That gets you gold quick first step. According to tests, aim for gold, which is 86, or legend red, which I think is 99 or 95 or 96. I'm not sure. That's the thing. I use a max +2 here to get legend quick first step, or whatever that's called. That's it for playmaking. Here's another favorite part about the build. I love blocks. I love defense. Even in real life, when I play ball, I like playing defense more than offense, and I like going for blocks. Blocks are like my favorite thing ever. I would rather have a build that can get crazy amount of blocks than contact dunks, and that's kind of what I did with this build. Interior defense. 60, because with a 60 interior and then that certain vertical attribute, you get paint patroller. And I do just get it on bronze, but I do use either a max +1 or a max +2 depending on how I want to do it. I'll do a max +1 and it'll give me silver paint patroller, or I'll do a max +2 and it gives me gold paint patroller. But that goes hand in hand with the high flying denier too. As you can see, I got a 78 block, and that's to get silver high flying denier just out of the gate. I'll max +2 that and get Hall of Fame, or I'll max +1 it and get gold. So I'll either have gold paint patroller and gold high flying denier, or Hall of Fame high flying denier and silver paint patroller. It just depends on what I'm feeling like doing that day. Still, I went with an 80 still, and that's just because I've heard, I can't remember if it was 2K Labs or whatever, but somebody said that there's a threshold that after you cross that threshold, you do get more bump stills and you get more reach stills, and whenever you reach, if you reach at a bad time, you're able to recover faster. I have noticed that on this build, if I reach, because my other builds, I think the other highest build I have is like a 70 something. No other build has even close to an 80. But I do notice that if I reach on this build and they do a dribble move and I'm kind of like stun locked for a second with the reach, I get out of that stun lock way quicker than I do on my build. Let's say that has like a 60 still. If I reach on a 60 still build, I'm like locked, and they're just going to blow right by me and go for a layup or a 3 because I'm stuck in the animation. But in this one, I do recover from the animation way quicker. And badge wise, it gives me silver glove, and that's without any max +1s or max +2s. Bump stills are crazy on this build. I do get, like, people will legit just be dribbling. They'll kind of dribble into me, not even with the ball, but like their bodies into me, and they'll straight up just drop the ball. It's like they get scared or something. That's why I call this build the BTA build. Perimeter defense, I went with a 90 out of the gate. I did use cap breakers on that. I'll get into that later. I've heard that you don't really need a high perimeter because your lateral quickness and stuff comes from your agility anyway. But I wanted the badges, so I went with a high perimeter, and I only have I have 10 cap breakers, so I kind of have to use them sparingly, and I'm not really going to grind the game to get all the cap breakers. I'm kind of fine with just having 10. It'd be nice to have more because I could upgrade other stuff, but I'm not worried about it. This build is good as is, like right now. It is kind of like a cap breaker build. You do need cap breakers to get everything that I got. You cannot spec it without the cap breakers and get everything that I've got. It's me silver on ball menace, I think it is, and then silver challenger. But like I said, I do cap break that. Rebound, I don't rebound. I don't 28 offensive rebound and a 53 defensive rebound. That's just, I didn't choose that. That's just what got brought up with the other stats. Now, if we go into our physicals, I do have an 88 speed with chase down blocks and stuff. It's good to have a higher speed. If I get 2 more cap breakers, I might do driving dunk up just so I get more animations, or get my speed to 90. And then my agility, I use my cap breakers on. I have a base level of 90 agility, but I cap broke that, and I'll show you all what that looks like in a second. But a 90 agility, it gives me a 90 lateral quickness, or whatever they call it in this game. It's not a defined stat, but it's kind of rolled in with agility. The defense on this build is crazy. Like nobody, if you play defense right and you cut them off early and prevent them from getting to the basket, you lock them up. And if they're kind of a one-dimensional player, can only do, like, they can't shoot threes or anything, they can only drive. It's so funny watching people. I've had people legit just rage quit because they'll go for a layup or a dunk or something, like 3 or 4 possessions in a row. I'll just cut them off and they won't even be able to get to the paint. So they're stuck at the 3 line and they can't shoot threes. So they just have to chuck something up. Now, with the strength, I do have a 73 strength, and I did that to get a strong handle and a movable enforcer. I do get a movable enforcer on bronze with a 73 strength, but I get strong handle gold. I don't know if there is a benefit to it. Fact wise, I do notice that I lose less stamina on this build when I dribble, when people are like straight pressing me. And I also am able to get, like, I kind of have the upper hand on animations. They don't force my hand to animations. I kind of do what I do, and then they react, like their player reacts to it, I guess is a decent way of explaining it. Yeah, 73 strength and then a 74 vertical. And you may be like, why you got a high vertical if you can't get contact dunks or anything? For blocks. So with the paint patroller and high flying denier, to get the base level badges that I got, I had to get a 74 vert. I don't know if vert actually helps with blocks, but I do get way more blocks, and that could just be from having a higher block rating and higher badges on this build. Now, if we go into our cap breakers, I did cap break my mid-range shot to a 75. I did +2 on it. With a 75, you get sharpshooting takeover. So when I first made this build, I didn't get sharpshooting takeover, but with a 75 mid-range, and I don't remember if it's an 85 3 ball or if it can just be an 83 ball. Did a +2 on my 3-point shot as well to get an 85. So I have an 85 and a 75, and that gives me sharpshooting take. And I do run jump shot boosts, so I have a +10 on that anyway. So really I got like a 95 and an 85. I legit shoot lights out with my cap breaker. Ball handle, I cap broke that too with a +2 and got a 93, and it just helps me dribble faster. I don't think any of the animations I use, my signature styles, which I'll show y'all here in a second, I don't think any of them require a 93 ball handle. I also did a +2 on my perimeter defense that got me to gold challenger and gold on ball menace, I think is what it's called. So I didn't want to use any of my max +2s or max +1s so on my defensive badges, so I just upped my perimeter defense to a 92, got gold on ball menace and gold challenger. I think you get gold on ball menace with 91 and gold challenger with 92. And then my last two cap breakers, I assigned to my agility. So I have a 92 agility, which in turn means I got a 92 perimeter defense and a 92 lateral quickness with my 92 agility. And I can just take off faster. It helps me keep up with people who speed boost, so I can like just take off real quick on defense and catch up to them if they beat me like on a drive or something. If we go to our badges, tier 1 badges, gold ankle assassin, silver glove, legend lightning launch, and that's because I use a +2 on it. Silver physical finisher, bronze shifty shooter. I don't take a lot of that badge does pop up sometimes if you do like a Devin Booker step back and then shoot a 3. Then I got a gold challenger, Hall of Fame handles for days, like I said earlier, because I use a max +1. Silver limitless range because I use a max +1. That's my shooting specialty or shooting specialization. And then I got a gold pick dodger. I don't ever play 2s or anything, so I don't ever get screened. Hall of Fame strong handle, I use a max +1 on that. Silver deadeye, silver interceptor. I got a gold on ball menace, Hall of Fame set shot specialist. And now if I remade this and did a 91 mid-range, I would have a Hall of Fame set shot specialist, or it might be gold. It's one or the other. And then I could either max +2 that or max +1 it to get legend. But I have silver right now with the 85 3 and the 75 mid-range, so I max +2 with my shooting max +2, and I get Hall of Fame set shot specialist. I got gold unpluckable. I don't really ever drop the ball unless I make a mistake. If I go to tier 2 badges, you can see I mainly run high flying denier on Hall of Fame with a max +2. It's silver base level, max +2 Hall of Fame. This is what I was talking about earlier. I got a bronze paint patroller, but I max +1 it, and sometimes I max +2 it. So I either have silver or gold depending on what I want to do that day. I already showed you all this, but here's my badge perks. And then my shooting specialization, I have maxed out my shooting specialization, as you can see here. Like I said, I do use jump shot boost, and I also use ball handling boost and block boost. I don't think you need block boost. I kind of just run it just because I have the extra VC from playing so much. I don't really buy clothes or anything. Does it look like I need to? I'm literally dripped out in a full suit. I don't need no clothes. Here's my signature styles. I'll just pop them up on the screen. I kind of copy Steezo. I don't dribble like Steezo at all, but his sigs are always like really good. Even if you don't dribble like him. I find that I don't use a lot of attribute bars, and I don't use a lot of stamina bars, and I don't use a lot of stamina whenever I dribble. If I dribble right, like the right way. The jump shot I'm using right now is this one. Base, Quentin Grimes, upper release 1, Austin Reeves, upper release 2, Beluba with a 60-40 Reeves Beluba split. And then I use push. This is the one I just started using just because I kind of got bored of the other one, and I like to switch stuff up. My first jump shot is Carmelo Anthony base, Sadiq Bey upper release 1, Beluba upper release 2 with a 73-27 Bey and Beluba split. And I use push on very quick. The reason I use 73-27 is because that's the highest I can go with an 85-3. If I go any higher than that, I can't get boosted up to like or bumps it up to 86 requirement, and I don't have an 86, so I can't do 86. But yeah, that was the build. If y'all like this video, remember to like and subscribe, share it with your friends, all that good stuff. But yeah, make this build. It's fire.